Well, today I'm going to be talking about a subject that is going to empower you to learn how to shift through your scale shapes. I call the concept octave string pairs, and to demonstrate it, I want to first make sure we understand how to find some octaves on the fretboard. If I was starting on G, and I skip 2 strings and skip 2 frets. There you can see it better. Skip 2 strings, skip 2 frets. There's my next G. It's 5th fret on the D string versus 3rd fret on the 6th. Now if I was to do that again for the higher 2 string pairs, I'd skip 2 strings. I have to go up an extra fret. The upper 2 string pairs, add an extra fret because of the tuning of the guitar. The lower ones have just that 1 fret space in between. So we have the intervals of the octave interval now. Let's play the first 6 notes of the G major diatonic scale. And what I'm going to do is take that string pair and I'm going to raise it an octave from the starting note, which was that G, from there. That's the G we found. That was an octave higher than the low G. Notice I even finger it the same way. Now I want to raise that an octave. There's my next G. Remember we had to add the extra fret. So that's our starting note. And now I'm going to descend. So I'm starting on E, and I need to find the octave, which is there and there. So there's octave string pairs. You should do that for all 7 shapes. There's 7 shapes because there's 7 notes in the diatonic scale. If I started on the 2nd note, 3rd, etc. So that's diatonic. If we were to do this with G major pentatonic, same idea. Raise it an octave. From the 2nd shape, 3rd shape. Everything you ascend, you descend. Etc. There's 5 shapes for the pentatonic, 7 for the diatonic. So now that we've learned our octave string pairs, it's not much of a jump to add the 7th note. Because we're only playing 6 notes of the scale with octave string pairs. Let's add the 7th. Could add it there, and then I'm going to descend as well as ascend. I'm going to skip that for now. That's one way of doing it. The other way we could have done it is stick with only 2 strings, shift to the F sharp, that way, instead of on the D string. You want to do this on all your shapes for diatonic, and you want to do this for pentatonic. I'm back to G major. I could add that E and then start into my next octave. Or I could have done on the shift on the 5th string. Either way. So apply these to diatonic, apply these to pentatonic. You can apply these to other minor scales. You can apply them to bebop scales. You can apply them to arpeggios. You can even apply them to tapped lines in the key of A minor. So there's an example of octave string pairs with taps going on. So really quick, let you see it slow. I'm thinking A minor, like that. And then I'm at the 12. And then I just jumped an octave. Jumped an octave. And then you did it backwards as well. So that's octave string pairs. That's scale shifting. So if you're liking the content that you get on my channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I am curious in the comments, what do you think of my conceptual approach to teaching guitar, the conceptual approach to learning? I don't talk about it all the time in every video, but I have some time today just to briefly talk about it. The idea is represented in the aphorism where they say if a man is hungry, you can give him a fish, but you're only feeding him for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, you're feeding him for a lifetime. That's what concepts do. I could taught you some riffs, or you could learn a song, and you might pick up on one line, and the song, as an example, that might do the octave string pair thing or scale shift. You would have to connect the dots. You'd have to know, hey, that's an octave string pair, and you have to think of it that way. Think of the string pair, think of it as jumping an octave, think of it in terms of the scale. It's a diatonic or pentatonic, know the key. I'm doing that for you. And you're getting the concept. Because you're getting the concept, you're able to apply it to other scale shapes. I didn't have to take it through all 7 shapes, did I? I just say, hey, this is what's happening, apply it to all 7 shapes yourself, or the diatonic, apply it to all 5 shapes of the pentatonic. I didn't have to take you through all that. I told you to apply it to tapping, you'd tap through all your scale shapes, right? So, and then that doesn't even get into tapping arpeggios, by the way, as an example, or just trying out intervals. So the concept can take you miles down the line. What concepts are doing is we're learning how to ask why questions. If you remember my first video on how to make practice fun, I talked about trying to infuse creativity into our practice, because when you do, you're making your practice musical and making it fun instead of an exercise. And one thing I encourage you to do is to ask why questions. And that's what concepts do, is they're kind of asking and answering the why questions. It's the idea of not being myopically stuck in the what. If you're only learning somebody else's lick or some song, you're learning where to put your fingers to play a song. But if you don't know, if you're not thinking about it and asking the question, well, what is that? Oh, it's an arpeggio, it's an A minor chord, it's, whatever, it's a diminished arpeggio played from the sharp 5 in the key of C. If you don't have that, then you're just putting your fingers down and doing what monkeys can do. They can, or robots can do. Artificial intelligence will be doing it before we know it. It probably already is. You're learning how to play something, but you're mindless about it. You don't know what it is, so you can't take it and run with it and apply it to something else. It's why there's a quote that I once heard that they said, a bad musician borrows ideas and a good one steals ideas. Not encouraging you to steal, but the idea is that if you understand the concept, the thing behind the thing, which is how John Mayer describes it, then now you can personalize it, and you can make it part of who you are, and you can do things with the idea that others might have not have thought of. So I hope that you're seeing that in this video channel, and that you'll be encouraged to subscribe, and tell your friends and share and like, and that really helps me to keep justifying providing more content like this, because I think this is it's been invaluable to me. I hope it's invaluable to you. So again, thank you for watching.